Welcome everybody.
Welcome everybody.
Today, what are we making, Scarlett?
Portuguese buns.
Portuguese buns. Are they your favorite?
Yeah. No, that's not what I meant to say.
What did you mean to say?
Mommy said, I'm nearly scolded, but I'm Rapunzel.
Oh, okay. You're Rapunzel today.
Yeah.
Well, me and Rapunzel are going to make Portuguese buns. Perfect. So what do we have here? Are these our ingredients?
Yeah.
So what do we have?
First.
Okay, so these are all our ingredients here.
Yeah.
So we've got them pre-measured out. So what we have is 4 cups of flour. Mm-hmm. We have a cup and 3/4 of 110-degree water. Mm-hmm. Right? We have a tablespoon and a half of sugar. We have 2.5 tablespoons of yeast. That's instant yeast. We have 1.5 tablespoons of salt. And we have 1.5 tablespoons of Crisco. And then we've got a little bit of extra flour and we've got a little bit of extra water just so we can get our dough just right. Okay, so step 1. Scarlett, can you add the yeast and the sugar to the mixer?
Now it
The sugar, that's the sugar, yeah. Pour it all in. There we go.
There's a little bit more on the bottom, so
Okay.
I'm going to put.
Perfect. Now can you pour all the water in?
Okay. It's so warm.
It is. It's 110 degrees, right? It's warm water. Okay, so now we're going to put our mixer attachment on.
Yeah.
And we're just going to set it down, lock it.
Lock it.
And we're going to turn it on a low mix. Just for about maybe a minute to get it all nice and dissolved. And then we're going to let that sit for about 5-ish minutes. Okay, so now we're back and we've our yeast is now gotten pretty active, so we're going to start putting in our dry ingredients. So Scarlett's going to start with the flour. So we got 4 cups of flour. We're going to pour that all right in, just like that. Okay, now get the salt. That's our coarse salt, and we're going to put that on top. Okay, and now we're going to put the mixing hook in. We're going to put it down, and actually just put the Crisco in too, Scarlett.
Okay.
It's a bit sticky, that one.
Tricky part.
That's the tricky part. So we're going to lock the mixer. We're going to turn on to a slow mix. Okay. And we're just going to wait for that to just mix together. We're just going to wait for that to mix together all nice. So we're going to want to make sure that we just get the dough the right consistency. So we might need to add a little bit more water back or add some more flour depending on how this turns out. What I like to have it for consistency is about, so it stops sticking to the edge of the bowl, but it's just stops sticking to the edge of the bowl. So it's a bit tricky to get it there, but we'll fine tune this once it starts getting mixed here. And now we can turn it up a bit, start getting what you need. Okay, so this is it's getting pretty mixed up now. I think it's a little bit on the drier side than I want it to be, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour a little water back in, just a little bit at a time. Okay, let's let that mix in. So a little bit on the dry side. What I like to see is I have the bowl nice and clean on the bottom, but I like to see a little bit of stick just on the bottom edge of the mixer. So let's go ahead and put this a little teensy more in there. I think that's probably good. Let's let that mix up for another few minutes and we'll see where we're at. That's what I mean about having the edge of the bowl kind of nice and clean, but it's kind of still sticking a little bit to the bottom. That's kind of like where I like it to be, just so it's got some stretch to it and it can expand nicely. So this is Everly. She's also Portuguese. and she's going to help me with the next part. So we're going to take a little bit of Crisco and we're just going to grease our bowl that we're going to transfer our dough into. And we want to make sure we get a nice large bowl because it's going to rise quite a bit. Okay, so we're done with mixing the dough and we're going to pull it out. So we got our dough and it's nice and stretchy now. And so we're going to transfer it into our greased bowl. So we want to make sure that this bowl is nice and greased. I just greased it up some Crisco. And we're going to transfer it all into there. Everybody's going to help. And you're going to try it too, make sure it's good. It's good? Okay. So now we're just going to turn it into a nice kind of round bowl, or round loaf. So what I like to do is we just kind of grab some of the dough on the edge there and we pull it over towards the center. Well, it really needs it. Okay, so it's a nice kind of round loaf there. So I'll just flip it over so it's nice and... Hey! Okay, so now we're just going to let this sit and rest for probably about 45 minutes to an hour. And it should be ready for the next step.
Welcome back to my cooking show.
Okay, so this is the next step in the dough making process. So our dough has gotten about twice the size, if you want to see it. It's just about doubled, I would say, and it's nice and soft and stretchy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to basically take the edge, we're going to pinch the edge of the dough, and we're going to pull it up, and then we're going to stretch it over and fold it over the top. And we're going to do that all around, and just pinch and fold all the way around the bowl until we get a nice even fold on it, okay? So we're going to grab it, and we're going to fold it over top. And Scarlett's going to do it too.
And that's what we do.
Yep, pinch right there.
I want to do it on
Okay,
this side.
you can do it on that side too, yeah. And then fold it over just like that. Yeah, perfect. So we're going to keep pinching and folding this thing over. Just like that, all the way around. Yeah, just like that. Good job. This is just going to help get some air pockets in there, and it's going to trap the air nicely, and it's going to rise even better. Alright, so once we're done that, then it's going to flip it over so we get a nice bubbly round loaf again, and then we're going to wrap it up again in saran wrap for probably another hour or so. What I like to look for at this stage of the game is that it basically rises enough to touch the top of the saran wrap, and when we get to that stage, then we can start rolling it out into buns.
We're going to come back in 1 hour. Welcome back. My name is White now.
So what happened with our dough?
Our dough grows to the wrapper and we're going to make it into buns.
That's right. It's risen all the way to touching the top. It's probably about triple the size of the original dough that we started with. But if your yeast is a little bit slow, then just wait until it gets to about this size, and then we can start rolling our buns. We're going to flour our work surface. Okay. There's two different methods of doing it. One is rolling it into a bun and then slicing the top with a knife just before it bakes. And the other one is rolling it into the bun shape and then folding it in half and placing it upside down to rise. First of all, we're going to basically pull maybe slightly smaller than a baseball size for our bun. It's a little bit smaller than that. And what we do is we just kind of roll it into the shape of a potato. And this is our nice Portuguese tablecloth that I basically roll up a big roll on one side, and then we fold it accordion style to keep all our buns in. So we're just going to continue rolling buns on our floured work surface. So if you're going to do the method that I prefer is just using a knife to cut the top, then I just basically roll them into little kind of potato shapes, and I kind of give the ends a little bit of a pinch, and then we just place them nicely into our tablecloth. Once we get about 3 or 4 in the row, then we're just going to kind of pinch this and kind of make little pockets for them to sit in, and then we'll do another row, and we'll do it so on and so forth until we get all of our 12 buns laid out. Okay, so we've got all of our buns laid out nicely and ready to rise. So what we're just going to do is we're going to cover them up with a cloth, just like so. Might need another one. Oh, I think we're good. And we're going to let those rise for about another hour or so. And then once they're done that, we'll put them onto sheets and we'll put them in the oven. Maybe about half an hour in, you can start preheating your oven at 390. Do you want to take a peek? Yeah. Oh, they got bigger, didn't they? Okay. All right, okay. Now we're going to take our buns. We got some parchment paper here on these sheets, and we're just going to transfer the buns onto them. So hold it in your hands. Perfect. Okay, so I just kind of roll them into my hand, and then I place them onto the baking sheet just like that. So we're just going to transfer them all over to the baking sheet. Want to make sure we got enough room between them. I try to get about 6 on a sheet. Like so. I just kind of put my hand under the tablecloth to kind of help roll it into my hand and then back. Okay, so once we get them onto the sheet like this, then we're going to give the tops a little slice. Make sure you use a really, really sharp knife, and we're just going to do a very, very gentle cut, nice from end to end, just like so. So that batch is ready to go in the oven, so we're just going to set that aside. We're going to do the rest. What are you doing, Scarlett?
I'm sprinkling the flour on top.
Perfect. That looks lovely. Let's get a little more. All right. Just a little bit of flour on top. Perfect. Great job, Scarlett. Okay, so our oven is preheated to 390 degrees, and we're just going to put our buns in for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's been 15 minutes. I think our buns are ready.
Yeah, they're ready.
Do you want to take them out?
Yeah.
Squeeze it and pull it down. Careful, be very careful. All right, Scarlett, what do we got here?
I'm not good. I'm too white.
Sorry, Snow White, what do we have to show everybody?
Buns.
Oh.
Hold them up then.
Okay, these are our Portuguese buns.
Yeah. And it's made of love.
It's made of love. Thanks, Snow White.
Okay.
Eat the flour. Perfect.
What are you making today? Are you Portuguese?
Yeah.
So you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Go!
We're going to come back in 1 hour.
Yeah, what's your name?
Oh.
It says Scarlett on your apron. Is your name Scarlett? No? Oh, sorry. Bye.
We'll be back in a few minutes. It's like a baby.
Is it like a baby? Alright, it's like a baby. You gotta pinch and fold it like a baby.
tickle me pink. I'm so excited. You're
Okay.
the best at in the world.
Thanks.
Now I'm going to do. It's not exactly the same like a head, but it's not Play-Doh. Today we're going to make a bun, but actually we're going to put a line in it, like a bun, but it's a bun.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Tell them the cheese.
Cheese.
Say cheese.
We make it into a potato, then we make a little line, and it would be a bun in the oven. It would be nice when I make it so long, but it would take so hours. And how come we have eyelashes?
Why do I have eyelashes?
Yeah. It's taking a long time, but you could come over and wait for it in the colors.